Breaking news, a woman is shot early this morning at a Nashville motel, and officers say it happened at the Motel 8 on Murfreesboro Pike near the Nashville International Airport around 5:30 this morning. 2 women and a child were in a room when another woman opened fire. The female victim was taken to Vanderbilt, treated for a gunshot wound to the arm. She has non-life-threatening injuries, and the child was not hurt. The suspect is now in custody, but her name has not been released to us just yet. Also breaking news this morning, an investigation is underway after an undercover officer hit a suspect with a squad car. We have exclusive video of the scene. It happened around 4:30 this morning on Lebanon Pike and Hermitage. Officers were working an investigation at the Hermitage Inn when the foot pursuit started. And police say as they were trying to get the suspect in custody, the suspect ran in front of the undercover officer's car and was hit. We were first on the scene this morning and we're told the suspect has minor injuries and will be checked out at the hospital. It all stemmed from a possible drug investigation. As soon as we get more, we'll pass it along. Officials were also called to this massive fire in Sylvan Heights where a home was destroyed. Sophie Nelson-Colding's been on scene all morning. And Sophie, flames were shooting out of the roof when you got there, right?
That's right, and even though now the firefighters are long gone, I can still smell that smoky smell standing out here. If you take a look, you can see just how much damage it did to that roof that collapsed. They had to knock down the awning that was covering the porch because that was the area where it kept sparking up. Firefighters were here for hours. You can see all that foam covering the roof. It's all over the house. Take a look at some of the video, though. This was what it looked like around 2:30 this morning. Crews, one firefighter actually got so dehydrated from fighting this that he had to have emergency medical treatment. But this was the second time firefighters had been here overnight. The first fire happened around 9:30. That's when the homeowners left, and the neighbors noticed the fire ignite again around 2:20 in the morning. And the fire chief says that they did have some problems getting in the first time, possibly because of hoarding.
Firefighters had difficulty in entry due to the fire load on the inside. Debris, furniture, clothes, everything was just piled about 8 feet up.
Now, out here live, you might be able to see some of that stuff that the chief was talking about that made it a little bit difficult. Another thing that made it hard for them to fight this fire, take a look. There's a fire hydrant right in front of their house, but crews couldn't hook up to it because it wasn't working. They actually had to use another hydrant further down the street, so that delayed them a little bit after this fire, as you saw, had just gotten so out of control. Reporting live in West Nashville, Sophie Nelson-Colding, News Channel 5.
Sophie, thank you. And a worker was rushed to the hospital this morning after an accident at a candy making plant. Happened just before 4 at Standard Candy Company on Massman Drive. This is where they make those famous Goo Goo clusters. Witnesses told us there was some kind of accident involving a machine in the sanitation department and an employee injured his arm. It's not clear, though, how seriously he was hurt. We'll continue to follow that. Also new this morning, a man accused of breaking into cars at a popular Nashville Greenways is now in custody. And Dan Kennedy at Percy Warner, that's one of the places that was hit. And Dan, do we know, how many people were stolen from?
Amy, let me give you an idea of the caseload that officers are dealing with. These are all the affidavits we picked up this morning for James Curry III, facing illicit charges including burglary, identity theft, and theft. Police say he hit cars like the ones parked here at Percy Warner Park, but not just here, at other trailheads and greenways throughout the Nashville area. And he has the same MO for all these crimes. According to these affidavits, he finds women who leave their purses inside their cars. Then he breaks their windows, he steals the purse, and then he goes to a local Walgreens to buy hundreds, even thousands of dollars worth of gift cards or other stuff. So he hit a couple cars at the NES Greenway trailhead off White Bridge Road over near the Publix. He hit several more at the trailheads belonging to Percy Warner Park, and police have finally caught him. They say this one guy, they can tie him to at least 5 break-ins since April alone. They caught him with the help of eyewitnesses and also some of the surveillance video at that Walgreens. And police this morning saying it's a good reminder to hide your purse, hide any valuables inside your car, because even a locked car won't stop some criminals like we saw in this case. Reporting live this morning in Belle Meade, Dan Kennedy, News Channel 5.
Thanks, Dan. An hours-long search for a missing elderly man ended in tragedy. Edgar Elliott was found dead late last night in Watertown. Neighbors got concerned when they hadn't seen Elliott in several days. Dozens of people scoured areas along Neal Road where Elliott often rode his lawnmower. It was one of those volunteers who found his body.
We can't do our job without the help of the community, and this is a prime example. We hate it turned out this way, but you know, it gives some closure, and it was with the help of all the volunteers in this community that helped us get that closure.
It's not clear yet exactly how Elliott died. Neighbors are now collecting money to help cover his funeral expenses. A shooting victim is expected to be okay after showing up to Kroger with a gunshot wound. Investigators say the shooting actually happened down the road on Ludi Street in South Nashville. Two people in a car saw people fighting on the side of the street seconds before someone opened fire. The passenger of the car was hit, and then they drove to East Thompson Lane Kroger before calling police. Major drug bust lands two convicted felons back behind bars. Metro Police tell us Ronald Floyd and Eric Kwiatkowski were running a pain pills operation. Investigators seized more than 3,000 high-potency prescription pills, a vehicle, nearly $20,000 in cash, and 10 guns from their properties. 3 of those firearms were reported as stolen. A Nashville police officer is on desk duty this morning for slapping a suspect. The officer was searching Rachel Hall when she was struck by an uncapped syringe hidden in Hall's bra. That's when the officer, Elizabeth Barry Lux, reportedly slapped Hall. The 3-year veteran of the force has been decommissioned pending an investigation. She was treated for that needle stick. And $40,000 is going to charity right now. All 4 men who found 9-year-old Carly Trent donated their reward money. You may remember that Carly was taken by her uncle Gary Simpson from school in Rogersville back in May, prompting an Amber Alert and a manhunt. The men found Carly and Simpson 8 days later on some rural property in Hawkins County. The $40,000 in reward money was distributed to more than 20 different charities.